and welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Christia Parker, and now joining me in the studio is sports blogger Aaron Hooks. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for being here with us today.
Anything for you, Christia.
Hey, the Cardinal season.
Yes, finally here.
Finally here. Tell us about it.
Well, you know what? It's a big season. Pujols is not here anymore. Tony La Russa.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I think that's
big
like
changes.
Right. I mean, you're not the biggest baseball fan, I know, but even a guy like Albert Pujols leaving the team, that's huge news. He gets $250 million to go to Anaheim. And this is the first year that, you know, in a long time. I mean, the last time Albert Pujols was here, I couldn't drink. The last time Tony La Russa was not the manager of the Cardinals, I couldn't even drive. So this is big change for the Cardinals. You know, they're kind of finding their way, but early in the season they've done pretty well without the guys. But you know, it's just weird not having those guys around. It's just weird.
Now, David Freese.
Yes.
Is there a lot of weight on his shoulder right now?
Well, you better believe it. I mean, he's had an unbelievable World Series. He's from St. Louis, so a lot of his friends and his family are still here. And then he's expected to do a lot this year to kind of carry the Cardinals into the postseason again. And truth be told, he's never played more than 100 games in a year, but he's going to be expected to do a lot this year for the Cardinals. And you know, to top it off, all the girls in St. Louis want him.
I mean, I actually went to high school with them.
You did. You actually did. Right. And now everybody's in love with him.
Yes,
everybody's trying to date him. He's in GQ. So he's just got to see if a lot of these distractions really take away from what he does on the field. But I have a feeling so far so good. He looks like he's put those aside, and he's had a really good start to the season. So that's good news.
Good. Now, what do you see in general for the team this season?
Well, it's going to be a little tougher. I think that Milwaukee's obviously a much better team than they were last year, or at least they're going to be more competitive. And they were the Central Division champions last year. The Reds are going to be more improved this year. So it's going to be tougher for the Cardinals. But at the same time, bringing in a guy like Carlos Beltran and having Lance Berkman back again for a full season and having David Freese completely healthy at the start of the season, I think it's going to be that three-team race. But the one thing that I know for sure, the Cubs are going to suck really bad, and we won't even have to worry about them other than opening day.
There's another World Series in our future?
I hope so. I think so. I think they've got as good a chance as anybody. You know, the name of the game in the baseball playoffs now is if you can get into the playoffs, you've got a really good shot. The Cardinals probably weren't the best team last year, but they got in, and they won the whole thing. So if the Cardinals can get in, I think they've got as good a shot as anybody.
Now, life without Tony La Russa, how is that going to change just the team morale in general and things like that?
Well, I think Tony La Russa was always one of these really serious managers. So he wasn't this guy that was just going to be kidding around. He was a really intense guy. And everybody that played for him, everybody that worked with him said the same thing. Really, really intense guy. So I think the Cardinals' atmosphere this season is going to be a little looser, might be a little funner, if that's even a word. But it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of dynamic plays out in the course of the season, because we know that when times got tough for Tony La Russa teams, they just kind of grinded their teeth and got through it. With Mike Matheny, the new manager of the Cardinals, could be a different story. He's kind of a little more relaxed, still pretty intense, but a little more relaxed. And we've yet to have that patch where he's gone through some tough times. So it'll be interesting, but I think it'll be a little bit more relaxed overall.
Do you think he was a good fit for the job?
You know what? People ask me that. I don't know. I mean, he's never managed anything. Little League game. He hadn't managed a softball game. You know, he hadn't managed anything. So then to think about that, I mean, the guy was doing nothing. You know, he was doing some like coaching, he was doing his, you know, pastoring, doing some volunteer work, and all of a sudden he's the coach of the World Series champions. That's a huge jump.
That is a huge jump.
You know, time will tell. So far, so good, but, you know, who knows if he crashes and burns.
Now let's talk about your blog a little bit. Tell us about your blog.
It's awful, isn't it? I mean, it's bad.
No, you guys were a finalist for the RFT. And
we're lucky. I guess they ran out of sports blogs to nominate. CardsDiaspora.com. We've had it for about 5 or 6 years now. So we started it in 2006 when the Cardinals won their 10th World Series, and we're keep going now into the 11th World Series year. So we're excited about it.
So you guys are going to be keeping up with the games a lot and everything?
Right. But I mean, if people think that it's just a baseball blog, we do all sorts of other stuff on there. We have a section dedicated, we were talking earlier about just Bachelor type stuff and, you know, maybe the lighter, funnier side of stuff. We're not very serious. So if you're looking for hardcore statistics, this isn't the place. But if you're looking for, idiots talking about baseball and some other sports, I think it's the place to go.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for coming by. You guys want to check him out. All the information is on the screen right there. This is the man you want to talk to, and you want to look at his blog as well. Read his blog about St. Louis Cardinals baseball. You guys remember to keep up with STL TV and all the great events going on around St. Louis. Opening day is just a few days away. You got to follow us on Twitter. You got to Facebook us, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can always catch us streaming live at stltv.net. We have a lot more coming up for you right after this break.